from the International School at Tel Aviv University, you're listening to Rihla, the podcast of the MA in Middle Eastern Studies program. Rihla is the Arabic word for travelogue. The Rihla Podcast brings you stories of our students' journeys as they live and study in Tel Aviv and travel throughout Israel and the wider Middle East.
Welcome to a new episode of Rihla Podcast. My name is Valerie Strassmann, and I'm going to talk with Carmen Estébanez, graduate student in the MAMES program from Puerto Rico. Hi, Carmen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We are at the campus of the university, and it's a really nice day outside. There's a lot of sun. Actually, we can even look at the sea from this university. If you think back, 2 years ago, would you have imagined yourself being here in Tel Aviv and studying at Tel Aviv University?
No, not at all. I never thought that I was actually going to come to Israel at all. It was never even a thing for me until I graduated my university back home, and then I started to wonder about coming to the Middle East.
So what made you wonder? What is your motivation to come to the Middle East and to study here at Tel Aviv University?
Well, I've always loved the Middle East since I was very, very young. I used to watch movies and read and all of this, and I remember when I was very little, I used to say, I love Egypt and I love the pyramids. And I used to collect little pyramids, and it all started like that. And my mom would give me pyramids, I don't know, that she found them and buy them. It just grew like that, and then in university I went to study political science. And I did my emphasis on the Middle East, and I just grew to love it. There's something about the cultures and the religions and the whole dynamic. It's rich. I don't know. I like it.
I recently learned that Puerto Rico has a Jewish community as well as a Muslim community. The Jews came with Christopher Columbus in the 15th century. They were so-called crypto-Jews. They adhered to Christianity, but secretly they were practicing Jewish traditions. This is because of the Spanish Inquisition. I also learned that there are Palestinians in Puerto Rico who came as a result of the foundation or the formation of the State of Israel. How present is the Middle East conflict in Puerto Rico?
I wouldn't say it's very, very present. You know, we're a little island in the Caribbean. We're really isolated, but yeah, we have a Jewish community. We had mostly 3 immigrations, like you said, from the Spanish Inquisition in the 15th century. They flee to Puerto Rico. Then we have the ones who came from Europe in the 1940s and 50s, and then we have the late 50s from Cuba, fleeing the revolution by Castro. So they also came. And it's about, I think, 3,000 Jews in Puerto Rico. And then the Muslims is a bit more. It's around 5,000 or 6,000 Muslims that live in Puerto Rico.
Are there other Muslims than Palestinians?
I don't know the exact figures, but I know that I've met a few, and a lot of them actually, they're converts. When they go to prison, they give them a Quran, and then in prison they convert. And then when they go out of prison, they just form their own mosques or whatever. And so yeah, I've met actually some Yemenites, some Jordanians, and some Palestinians, but not a lot of Palestinians that I've met actually. I know that there are 11 mosques in the island. I don't know how many synagogues, but I know that I went to one in San Juan.
Can you describe the synagogue?
Yes, well, the synagogue, it was owned by this, he was a Jew from New York, I think Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken, and he was a Reform Jew. So it was really, really interesting. He talked about the synagogue. The synagogue was beautiful, beautifully decorated. It was big. It was good.
So when you walk the streets, you actually see mosques in Puerto Rico?
I haven't been to a mosque yet, but there are a few that are up high in the mountains, so you can almost see them a little bit, but I haven't been to one yet.
The Middle East is also present in music. There's a very popular band, Calle 13, and they produced a song which is called Multiviral, and parts of it are shot in Bethlehem and in the village of Beit Sahur. Parts of the lyrics have also been written and sung by Palestinian artist Camelia Chubran, and basically the song is against media manipulation and oppression. The front leader, René Perez, he said in an interview that he sees similarities between the political situation in Puerto Rico and Palestine. Do you think it's a widespread feeling among Puerto Ricans? Is there a huge sympathy for struggles for self-determination and against occupation in regard to the issue of colonization?
Yes, most definitely. I think the majority, especially the university students or the younger people, they are very passionate about that. They feel like, again, because they feel like Puerto Rico is a U.S. colony, no self-determination, no independence, so they have sympathy for the Palestinian cause. But I also think that a lot of people, they don't really know much about Israel, so it's just easy to pick a side in terms of, political terms. But yeah, I think not a lot of them know about Israel, so it's difficult for them to try to sympathize with the Israeli side.
Are there a lot of people from Puerto Rico going to Israel or to the Middle East?
No, actually, it's very, very few. I remember when I first started telling my friends that I was going to go to Israel, they were shocked. They were scared for me. They were saying I was crazy. Why would I do this to myself? Because not a lot of people explore this area or think about it or really, care about it because it's so far away, They only see to the United States, maybe to Europe, and that's as far as they go. So people were shocked. Again, they don't really know much about Israel or the Middle East in general, so it's difficult for people to understand it.
So when you talk with your friends or your family, and have you been back meanwhile?
Yeah, I went back to February, this past February, and I told them, everything is fine. They look at my pictures. They're happy for me, because, I tell them it's not like you think it is. It's not like you read in the news and you see on TV, because it's very misleading, and they try to sell you an idea, and, it's not like that at all.
Would you say that Puerto Ricans are curious still about the situation? Are they, curious about the stories and about the impressions you made?
Yes, of course. Especially, the university students, they're very curious about it. I know that in my university, there's now more programs talking about Arab culture or the Middle East in general or Islam classes. So it's good that more people are trying to learn about it.
So actually, you're kind of a pioneer. Do you think that the percentage of students will rise, who will come to the Middle East or who want to, study this topic?
I wouldn't say I'm a pioneer, definitely not. I know there's, in South America, there's a lot of people that come to Israel. There's a lot more Jews, like in Argentina, for example, they come here. But I hope that more people try to come here and try to see it for themselves. It's a rich, Israel is a rich country. The Middle East in general, there's so much history and so much to learn. I definitely hope that more people would come here in the future.
So maybe one last thing about Morocco. I've seen pictures on Facebook that you went to Morocco and it really looks beautiful. And I guess you had a great time there.
Yes.
How comes that you went to Morocco?
I've always wanted to go, and then it seemed appropriate because right now I'm taking a class about Morocco. So I took this as an excuse to go. And I spent, 11, 12 days over there, and it was amazing. It was beautiful. It was so good to see that they spoke so many languages. They have French, Arabic, and Spanish. Almost everyone knew Spanish, which was really surprising to me. And I also thought it was really, really interesting that I think out of all of the Arab countries, Morocco was the one who really preserved their Jewish heritage. In a lot of the big cities in Morocco, they still have the Jewish quarter, and it's really well preserved, and they try to teach you a lot about the Jewish community in Morocco, which is really good. And it was also really interesting. I think Morocco is the only country that they put the Jewish calendar in their newspaper. It's really, really interesting.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
And then also, they have this city called Chefchaouen, the blue city. Beautiful, beautiful city. And it's all, literally everything is painted the color blue, and it's because in the 16th century, the Sultan told the Jews that they have to move to this little Medina, to the city. And the city was painted white and green being the color of Islam. And so the Jewish decided to paint the city blue. So now the whole city is blue, everything, the floor, the walls, everything is painted blue to represent the Jewish people. So it's really, really nice.
Where do you see yourself in 2 years? I mean, what's the plan? You want to go back, or you would like to stay here, or, travel a bit more? I mean, do you have a vague idea what's going to happen?
I would like to stay in the region, travel more around the Middle East, see other countries. I would like to start learning Hebrew, so I don't know any Hebrew yet. And also, after I finish this program, I would like to maybe go to an Arab country to try to learn more Arabic over there. But yeah, in the next maybe 2-3 years, hopefully I can still be here, traveling the region.
Thanks for listening to the Rihla Podcast. We have more episodes coming out soon, so stay tuned. For more information on the MA in Middle Eastern Studies program and how to apply, visit mames-israel.org. That's MAMES-Israel.org.